Think a little about Romans. Romans is a book that is focused in on salvation. Paul writes this book, and it is known as the road to salvation. The Romans road, that's what we call it. And it leads folk into salvation. If you're struggling with your salvation in your life, if you don't know if you're saved, if you're up and down one day on whether you're going to heaven or whether you're going to hell, I dare you, I impart unto you, I beseech you to read the book of Romans, because Romans is going to help you to get solidified in your salvation. Me, myself, I was confused and perplexed. I would mess up in sinful areas, and the devil would come to me and say, you know what, you're not saved. If you were saved, then you would keep all of God's commandments. Jesus said if you love him, you'll keep his commandments. And you keep breaking his commandments because you don't love him. Therefore, you're not going to heaven. But God told me, he said, Kente, you need to read Romans. And I don't just want you to read a verse. I want you to read the whole book. I want you to read all 12, 13, 14, 15, how many chapters it is. Read all these chapters so you won't be confused anymore when it comes to your salvation. And I praise God today, because one thing I do know is that I am saved. And I know I'm saved because I read the book